Monique Allain. We are so happy to have you today on our short stories interview. You are born in São Paulo, Brazil, a relevant, exceptional land for art in Latin America. However, you are French and Mexican citizen too, and living and residing in New York City for several years. Which one of those cultures is present in your art?
I would say all of them. I'm a result of all those cultures. And I'm a lucky person because this allowed me to have an approach of life very diverse. I feel like I belong to all these places, and at the same time I'm a foreigner in all those places, because always when I'm in Brazil or when I'm in France or when I'm in Mexico, I feel some discomfort. I feel comfort because I know that I know this place and I care about this place and I have my roots there. But in some ways I'm different. I belong to nowhere in some ways. And this creates a kind of restlessness that always makes me move. So in the end, it's a very good thing, although it's uncomfortable. We have to understand who we are and what we want to do really a work that is genuine. So I was trying to understand where I was coming from, and I got a residency in France. I was trying to find my roots, and it was very weird because when I was there, I was thinking, oh, that's why I do this. This comes from that place. Because, you know, my mother is Mexican, my father is French, and I was raised in Brazil. In Brazil, I know that it's different, but I don't know where it comes from. And then I was feeling, wow, I would like to have also this experience in Mexico. But I didn't have the chance to have a residency in Mexico. What I had is that in 2015, Nelly Dapignon, a writer, was invited in USP to create research for the whole year about Latin American literature. And Mexico was one of the topics. So I said, wow, so I'm going to choose a work with Mexico, and I'm going to do the same experience trying to find my roots through this. Mm-hmm. And she gave, the book that I read was Pedro Páramo from Juan Rulfo. And this book, it's a beautiful book. And while I was reading the book, I was trying to find, oh, this comes then from Mexico. So everything that I was doing when I was doing the residence in France, I did with this book, and I made a work with that. So I feel that I could recognize myself in those places after I did those works. And Brazil, I was born, I was raised, so it's easier. I hope I answer your question.
No, please. I love it because some artists are searching and some artists are simply finding. So it all depends on how you mention your roots and who you are. Now, what is the meaning of art for you?
Well, this is a big question because art for me, it's everything. It's oxygen. In fact, I think the beautiful thing in art, I feel the most human I can with art because it's the way of integrating the abstraction and the perception in the most emotional aspect. So I think that art is creating something that is an integration of everything for human. And I would say that art also, I remember I helped in a seminar in São Paulo, the C40, about cities, how to transform cities in more human places. Because I'm a researcher too, I was invited by USP, and I was following the table that was discussing sustainability and education. And one of the person that was speaking, Miriam Vilela, she was the director of the Chart of the Earth. And she was saying that the only experience that transforms is art. It's what touches you emotionally. And I thought, well, what touch emotionally is art, because you have the poetic aspect.
Yes.
So art is a very, very, very strong and powerful tool to touch people, to create connection, to communicate in a way that traditional languages, they are not able, because you go to levels that are multiple. It's a three-dimensional, two-dimensional approach, if I can say.
In your career, Monique, you do painting, you do a performance, you do urban interventions, I'm sorry, you do audiovisual installations, you do collective actions. Which of those activities make you feel more validated as an artist?
I don't think that there is one that makes me more validated than the other. Mm-hmm. First of all of them, they have the same intention, the same, I'm trying to reach the same place. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to create, to find ways to connect, to allow the experience of connection to ourselves and connection to our surround. Mm. So, and I think that if you, let's talk about habitation. Let's talk about space. Imagine a space. To create a space, the space has walls and the space has a volume that has to be filled. You are in your house, your habitation. You have the table, you have all those things, and you have in your walls, you have the windows, you have the door, and you like to put some things on the wall. So when you do a painting, when you do a photography or another work that is bidimensional, this work doesn't have any meaning, any sense if it's not located somewhere for someone, okay? And it's the same with the furniture. So the most important thing, in fact, is who is appreciating what is there, either bidimensional or three-dimensional, doesn't matter. But you have to, if you want to create your habitation, you have to think about all those things. And I would say that my dream, I think the goal of my main work in my life, is to create my studio, my habitation. And this is going to be an artwork, the place where I'm completely full. So all things has a meaning. Nothing is there for nothing. And this is the installation. But to make the installation, you have to start doing the paints that you are going to put in the wall. You are going to put the photos. And also, speaking about what you were asking, what for me, I'm trying to find are spaces that are in between. Because I feel a kind of a claustrophobia. I don't like things that you can put in a drawer and put a name. Oh, this is a photography, or this is a painting, or this is a video. Because in fact, everything, you have spaces in between that are very rich, because they have layers of meaning and of expression that just those limits, they have that ability. So I'm always trying to find ways of something that is in between the photography and the video, in between the painting. And I work with a lot of hybrids, because also we have two timings in life. We have the moments that we are moving and the moment that we are quiet, and we need both. And when you have an installation, it's a moment that you can move or be quiet depending on what you are doing, but you are there in a situation that you are receiving something that is going to touch you. And when I do the works that are more performances, and most of the time I'm trying to bring the public to participate with me, because what I'm interested is in creating connections. Exactly, the interaction is important. The interaction. So the performances are performances in general that we do, the two of us. So for example, this what you're seeing here, it's a dialogical painting. And what I start trying to find is a way to connect with people and communicate with people without words. Because with words, it's the language that we know already so well, that we control so much, that we don't allow us to go to reach different levels of communication. So what I do is that I put in one side, one paper, and in the other side, another paper. I invite a person, not a painter, not an artist, a normal person. And I give them plenty of colors. So they made their own palette, and they go, and we start at the same time without any rule. What I explain to them is the purpose of the experience. We are not trying to make a painting. We are trying to connect.
One of the great aspects that I see from this pandemic is that is permitting many people to make reflections and to engage with the present moment, which is the same thing that you're talking about. If you have the opportunity to go out for a drink with a well-known artist, dead or alive, who would that be?
Without any doubt, without any question, I would go with Ligia Clark.
Oh, okay.
Because I found out that, I mean, I really admire so much her movements. Without knowing her, I was completely ignorant. I was discovering the things that she started discovering in her way of developing her art. And what I think it's beautiful is that she realized that the most important thing is the person, is the people. It's how they feel. It's not the artwork. The artwork is just what, by the way, she was saying that she was not an artist anymore in the end of her life. She was saying that there are much other important things. And she was doing those objetos relacionais, objects for relation. I don't know how to translate this in English.
To play, to be engaged with the...
To be engaged with. And those objects, they were allowing people to recognize who they are by developing their perception and their sensation, because she makes a difference between both. The perception is what you bring with all yourself, from your memories, the feelings that you carry, all the baggage that you have that makes you who you are, that differentiates you from others. And you have the vibratile body, she calls. It's the more energetic animal, the flesh, let's say, that needs to be alive. And those are the sensations. And both of them, they allowed human beings to adapt and to live and to be integrated with the environment and otherness. So it's, I mean, for me, she's fantastic. And also she developed the organic line. This is exactly these spaces of limits where you have this multiplicity, this plurality of meanings, of understanding, those frontiers that are so rich. I loved your question. I think they are so rich. They allowed us to talk about things that are so important, that I really would like to thank you so much for the opportunity. It was really very, very, very important for me to be able to share all these thoughts with you. And thank you.